Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day today. It's the penultimate round of the regular season, the Brickyard 400, and you see the playoff grid. Chris Buescher, the last driver in by 44 points over Todd Gilliland. Tyler Reddick's clawing his way back post-injury, 89 points out. Realistically, Gilliland the only one that could get his way in here this weekend from Indianapolis, the crown jewel. We had big news this weekend, and it comes out of the 2311 camp. Ryan Blaney, we knew he was leaving Penske. It became official. Ryan Blaney has signed with 2311 and will pilot the number 23 car, as Bubba Wallace will be leaving 2311 following the conclusion of Season 4 of this career mode. Wallace already has found a landing spot in the Cup Series for next season. He will be in the Cup Series still. Not going to tell you exactly where he's going just yet, but I do know where he will be landing. So don't worry if you're a Bubba Wallace fan. But Ryan Blaney, of course, one of Bubba Wallace's best friends. They are great friends off the racetrack, and he will be taking his ride going forward now. So 2311 next season looks like it will consist of Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, as well as Corey Heim as of right now. That's going to be an exciting lineup to watch now, as 2311 is making some moves, some changes, trying to find a bit more pace, of course, as they are on verge of missing the playoffs for 2 seasons in a row. This weekend we got Marco Andretti in the field for the Project 91 Ford Trackhouse Racing. On top of that, Helio Castroneves has won the Indy 500 multiple times. He's in the field for the 21 Wood Brothers Ford Mustang, looking for a Brickyard 400 win in the NASCAR scene. Doubt we'll see him pick up the win, but never say never as we come through into qualifying now for Indianapolis. We've got the Yahoo paint scheme on the car this weekend as we dive down into turn 1. Very first thing I do is miss the apex, so not a great start to the lap here with a goal of a 53.136. Can we actually hit that goal as we roll through turn number 2, head down now the long back straightaway, of course, and down into turn 3, actually getting through 3 pretty well and lining up turn 4 the best we can to, of course, get hopefully, I mean, what I was feeling like a potential top 10 starting position we were at least capable of as we head down this front straightaway for the final time. To the line, we'll beat the goal easily with a 51.470. We go P5 for the Brickyard 400. Quite happy with that lap, to say the least. And on pole position, it's Ross Chastain, front row with Kyle Larson, Bell, Busch, myself, Elliott Kozlowski, Gibbs, host of our last season's winner here in the Brickyard 400, starting all up inside the top 10. Chris Buescher down in 32nd. He's got some work to do with that 44-point buffer coming into this race. We had Truck Series action this weekend from Eldora, where actually Dalton Sargent puts himself into the Truck Series playoffs with a win on the dirt. Quite a drive from him. On the Xfinity side of things, actually, it was Ryan Truex who picked up the win here in Indy Road Course this weekend over Brandon Jones, AJ Allmendinger, Allgaier, as well as Daniel Suarez, all up inside the top 10. Same for Andretti rookie of Andres Perez. He hasn't found a whole lot of success yet, but he seems to be improving as the season goes on, and we continue to monitor his success. Now, let's go Brickyard 400 racing Sunday in the Cup Series.
2 races is all that remain in the regular season. Last year, Carson Hocevar stunned the world by winning his first Cup race and earning a playoff spot. Will we see this again today?
Lots of strategy potential here, Lee. Anything could happen at the end of this race.
Right, boys, we were close here last year. I don't see why we can't get up there and fight for the win today again.
100%. Let's aim for some more playoff points today.
So getting ready to roll here, Chandler Smith, our teammate in the 18, failed technical inspection. He will be joining Austin Cindric from the back of the field after the 06 failed pre-race inspection. We start row 3 inside P5, just behind our teammate of Christopher Bell. What can we pull off as we seek another crown jewel on this season? The green flag is out. Chastain, Larson lead the field to green. On the run into turn 1, Kyle Larson today looks to sweep or, well, finish up the regular season title and be able to go into Daytona without having to be concerned at any margin. Immediately, Larson under attack from the 20 of Christopher Bell as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway. We're side by side with that Wendy's 99 of Kyle Busch. Big run to the back of the 20 will give him a shot to the bumper. We got 16 laps here in stage number 1. We cannot make it to the end of this stage, so we will need a pit stop at some point. Brad Keselowski, former winner of the Brickyard 400, just behind myself now as we go down into turn number 4, coming towards the tail end of this first and opening lap. A good run on the exit of turn 4 here, side by side with Christopher Bell down this front straightaway, and Larson's already looking for the lead here from the Brickyard, crossing the stripe. Lap 1 complete now as we head down into turn 1. Larson showing the nose on that Busch Light Trackhouse Honda driven by Ross Chastain. 2 wins on the season for Chastain. Larson's there, and now we go side by side for the lead here from the Brickyard down this back straightaway. Larson won this race in real life in 2024. Can he do it here in season 4 of the career mode? Larson into turn 3 clear, and we had a big run on the back of these guys, and we're able to follow Larson through on the inside now as we go from 5th to 4th to 3rd, now aiming for 2nd. Christopher Bell struggling for pace early in this race. He's dropping back and holding up some traffic nearly into the side of the 1 of Chastain as we would continue to try and fight him with a big run into turn 1 here from the draft. Now as well, talking about playoffs, we can confirm some drivers that are in now on points. William Byron is officially locked into the playoffs on points. He is the top driver without a win. Christopher Bell as well is locked in on points. So those 2 drivers, the 24 and the 20, do not have to worry. Shane Van Gisbergen, Chris Buescher, they are in a fight for 15th and 16th. Both are hoping we don't see any new winner. I don't think we're going to see one here today right now with the speed again of that 5 of Kyle Larson now as we look for again a move on Ross Chastain. And I think I learned something here, trying to set him up on the exit of the corner down the long straightaway, giving us the whole straightaway to get a bit of an advantage into turn 3, or turn 1 may that be, and allow us to get clear. So we get to P2, and now Keselowski follows through on lap 5. He'll move through into P3, so Chastain down into the 4th position, wide into the outside wall on lap 5. Keselowski slips through, and so does Chastain. Here comes the 9 Napa Auto Parts driver of Chase Elliott there for the Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. We drop to P5 as we hit the wall. Just got too tight on the exit of turn 2, and we pay the price for it now as we got up to 2nd, back to where we started in 5th place. Kyle Larson leads the way, but a mistake from myself. But it's not over. We're still very much in the mix here. Using the draft to suck up to the back of the 9. We'll dive again to the inside into turn number 3. Passing is not easy when it comes to the Brickyard. You can see now starting to slip and slide around a little bit as well after hitting the wall and picking up a little bit of right side damage. But Keselowski is not driving away from Chastain. Chastain's not driving away from Chase Elliott, and Elliott's not driving away from me. But one driver that's reeling us in is my teammate of Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell. He's been dropping like a rock, but Gibbs is closing one just recently in New Hampshire. Is Ty Gibbs getting hot at the right time on the season? The defending Cup Series champion, that is, as now Chastain and Elliott both get past the 6 of Keselowski. I could try to make it 3 wide here into turn 1. 9 laps to go on the stage. Let's go for it as we're wheel to wheel with the 9. Can't quite clear either of them. We maintain 3 wide through turn 1 on the short shoot here down into turn 2. Bit of contact with the 9. Keselowski gets through. Elliott though still maintains at my right rear as we exit turn 2 down this bank straightaway. He's going to be able to get clear down this bank stretch, so we continue in P5, and Elliott would take the momentum to the inside of the 6 into turn number 3, and he'll re-clear Keselowski again. Keselowski in his final Brickyard 400 now as Ty Gibbs is here. We are not far away from pit stops at all, and you can just see how much I'm slipping and sliding around. So I would develop a new idea. So we can't make it to the end of the stage. If we pit under green, we're not going to lose a full lap. We're going to pit at the end of this lap and get 4 fresh tires on this car and try to gain some track position and just fix the car, make some adjustments. So as we exit turn 4, we're going to box right here, but we slide up the track. Gibbs is going to get through. We slow down, get to the inside now, but we're going to speed by a few miles per hour, and that absolutely screws us over. Now crash! Cole Custer in turn 3 goes around, and that's going to bring out the yellow as we will complete our pit stop, and this actually saves us to a degree, so we are going to be losing track position because of the black flag. but we aren't going to be going to the back of the grid. So we will be P17, basically. That's where we're scored right now. Corey Heim, 1 lap down. He actually had an engine issue. He had a crash in Canada that took him out. He had an engine issue here, but he's back on the lead lap now. But P17 is where we cycle out. A personal mistake on my end. Every once in a while, I do that stupid thing called speeding. We've done it today, but we've been saved by that caution. So we're back underway. Cole Custer, day over for him. Joey Logano back here. Todd Gilliland as well. How about Chris Buescher? Started about 30th position. He's worked his way up inside the top 20 already with 2 laps to go in stage 1 as we dive down through turn 2. Larson's out in front. Everybody's made their pit stops now as it's going to be just a straight up race to the end of the stage. Buescher hit the wall on the exit of turn 2 and we made contact after he bounces off the wall. We're 3 wide now as we head down this back straightaway. Zane Smith, a potential favorite right now to replace Ryan Blaney at Penske Racing next season. We know Ryan Blaney is headed to 2311 officially as we just passed the car now that he's going to be going into. That's Bubba Wallace in the 23. We passed Shane Van Gisbergen, Caruth, and now side by side with 10th place of Chase Briscoe to start the final lap. How about that? Looking still for stage points to end this first and opening stage. Quite a recovery drive, and we would clear the 98 down the back straightaway. Bell side by side with Byron. These two, already talked about it, now locked into the playoffs on points at least. Now as we roll through turn 3, heading down towards turn 4, just up ahead you see Tyler Reddick, who's trying to find victory lane before the season comes to a close. We exit turn 4 down this front straightaway. Kyle Larson, as usual, again, down the front stretch. We'll pass the 20, but Larson wins stage number 1, and that's going to be his 34th playoff point. Kyle Larson has been unbelievable now as the second highest amount of playoff points behind Kyle Larson at 34 is Ross Chastain at 16, then myself at 14, Ryan Blaney at 12. He's only got 1 race win, but he's won a bunch of stages from earlier in the season. And then you got Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, all with 11 playoff points as well. But Kyle Larson, already a Final Four favorite. He should be able to get to that Final Four, honestly, I believe, without too much issue as we get ready to go for stage number 2. We are back racing again, just behind the 45 of Tyler Reddick. We've moved our way forward in the 2 laps that we had. We got 1 last lap of racing here in stage 2, 15 instead of 16 total. Just behind myself, we got the 98 of Chase Briscoe. We will be battling fiercely with him in the playoffs. Now we're 3 wide with Kyle Busch as well as William Byron. That 24 got aggressive in that Exalta machine. He went around the outside, got us both now as we head down this back straightaway. Kyle Busch looking for some success. He ran pretty bad in Canada, but he's had a lot of bad luck lately, again, that we saw him have last season at Trackhouse with engine issues, tire issues, whatever it might be. But he's looking for just a solid end to the regular season. That's what he really needs to be after right now as we go down into turn 4. Larson leads, but how about Ty Gibbs? We know Gibbs is quick. We saw it in stage 1. He's up to P2. That 54 might be the quickest car here today in Indianapolis. Now, can Ty Gibbs get his second win of the season? He has not won a single stage here in the season, but he is getting hot, I believe, at the right time. We talk about drivers who are getting strong at the right time. I think we are in that conversation. Kyle Larson, of course, has been that conversation, but Ty Gibbs, he is really starting to look good. Chastain's been looking a lot better recently as well. Shane Van Gisbergen, he hasn't won, but he's been fighting for wins over the last 5 races or so. So don't rule out that 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen either. We know he will likely be in the playoffs depending on what happens this week and next episode at Daytona as well. But we clear Tyler Reddick now. We know he needs to win as we're now going to look for a move to the inside of the 24. This will move us through into P6. 12 laps to go in stage number 1. Didn't quite get enough of an advantage on the 24, so he's going to fight back, and he would re-clear us on the exit of turn 2. So we settle in to P7 once again, looking for the right opportunity, but learning that you can't make the move about halfway down the straightaway unless you have an insane run. You need to make the move right on the exit of the corner and hope you get at least half a car length, a 3/4 car length ahead of the car you're fighting with going into the corner. But we clear the 24 with help from the draft from Keselowski. So back up into P6, but hold on, it's not over. Actually missed the apex. I go wide. Byron's going to fight back up the inside. Larson up ahead, you can see, is under continuous pressure right now from Ty Gibbs. This is going to be a race now. Ty Gibbs is not going to make it easy for that number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet as Larson seeks to sweep the first 2 stages now. Less than 10 laps to go in stage number 2 as we roll through turn number 2 now, heading down towards this back straightaway. We're all over the back of the 24, starting to slip and slide around a little bit more again, but we got a decent run, so we're going to go for the move. Just about dead even, just past halfway on the straightaway. Half a car length, 3/4 clear into turn number 3. We'll take P6 from William Byron again. Byron at Hendrick Motorsports, I mean, hasn't won a lot in the career mode. He's been consistent. I mean, right now he is doing very well in the regular season standings, just hasn't been able to find victory lane. Christopher Bell, our teammate, maybe the biggest surprise. He has not won yet this season in what's been a fairly successful season now, but Toyota seems to be getting better over the recent episodes, so I would expect to see Christopher Bell winning sometime soon, as he was so close to a championship last season. Austin Hill, Talladega winner, goes crashing into the outside wall, and the caution will fly. The leaders were literally about to pit, but now caution flies. Everybody is going to come in for 4 tires, fuel, etc. We make a slight adjustment on tape, going up to 40% and the wedge to 50.3 from a 50.2. No positions change inside the top 10. Chris Buescher now inside the top 10. Larson, Gibbs, Elliott, Kozlowski, Chastain, myself, the first 3 rows, and it's going to be again 2 laps here in stage 2, a straight up sprint. Ty Gibbs looking for track position. I think he's got the speed to potentially become a Brickyard 400 winner here today. He had such a strong season last season. Of course, won 4 races, didn't win a single race in the playoffs, but won the championship, of course, with the Homestead Miami situation that we talk about so many times, and is the reason that we had to change the playoff format here. NASCAR decided to make that 3-race Final 4 instead, but Ty Gibbs he feels like he has, a chip on his shoulder, saying that maybe he didn't deserve that championship, is how people look at him, and you could argue he didn't, but you could argue he absolutely did, and he is trying to prove that that was not a fluke, and he's starting to get, like I said, hot at the right time. Just behind Brad Kozlowski here, all of RFK will be in the playoffs if Chris Buescher can hold on to that final position going through today and into Daytona. Now he's 44 points above Todd Gilliland, and fortunately for Buescher, he's having a top 10 run as we start the final lap of stage 2. Todd Gilliland not looking very good, so that's perfect for the 17 as we head down this back straightaway behind William Byron, pushing him right here because I know a move isn't going to quite work now as we run P6. Elliott through into second, Chastain third, Gibbs dropped down to P4, being stuck on that outside. We look to the left rear of the 24 as we head down into turn 4. Elliott right on the back of Kyle Larson, although he has the speed, Gibbs might have had the speed as well. None of them can find a way past the 5. Kyle Larson sweeps the first 2 stages. His dominance continues. That's his 35th now playoff point on the season. Next episode, the Daytona regular season finale, that's going to be a nice change of scenery because we know Larson's not very good at plate racing, so I think we'll be safe from his dominance there. Zane Smith, Connor Zilish, all having great runs here. Again, Zilish going to Trackhouse's 4th car next season. Nick Sanchez in the top 25. William Sawalich running good. Seeing some rookies having some good days here. Rajat Caruth as well in the mid-teens right now. He has been picking it up lately, but actually having a bit of a subpar day in that 48 now as we're back racing again. Stage 3, the 3rd and final stage, is officially underway here from Indianapolis. Kyle Larson, can he be stopped? He got his 5th win of the season last episode in Canada. Imagine going into the playoffs already with 5 wins. Kyle Larson has been on remarkable form. I mean, we saw Chase Elliott a few seasons ago win, 7 races, I think it was, but of course still came up short of a championship. In the background, the 48, Caruth and that overstock Chevrolet into the outside wall a little bit now as we're side by side with Kozlowski down this back straightaway as we head down in towards turn number 3 as we continue wheel to wheel with that 6 Kings Hawaiian Ford Mustang Joey Logano. How about Marco Andretti for Project 91 and Trackhouse Racing inside the top 10? Don't see Project 91 a lot, but they are putting on a clinic here today. Now Project 91's future is certainly uncertain going into next season because of the fact that they will now have a 4-car program full-time with Connor Zilish joining the team. I think Trackhouse next season is going to be very exciting with the likes of Kyle Busch, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ross Chastain, and then future star Connor Zilish, of course, that can really lean on 3 drivers who've got all different types of experiences in the Cup Series as well. So that's going to be really exciting to watch Connor Zilish and what he can do. And as well, the second season with Honda. I think Honda, using their first season in the Cup Series is a learning year, and they've done a great job so far. They've won 4 races. They've got 3 cars in the playoffs currently with, of course, Trackhouse. Now as we slam the outside wall, as we exit turn 4 the second time today, and now Keselowski goes through. We only lose 1 spot. Logano, as well as Andretti and Busch are all behind, so we would maintain P7, but we continue to struggle with the handling of this car. It just hasn't been there today. Usually we're right up there in the fight here in Indy. It's just not happening. Speaking of a fight, up front, Chase Elliott, now you can see he's putting some pressure on his teammate there of Kyle Larson. Elliott looking for win number 4 on this season as we look to the inside of the 6 down this back straightaway, and we continue towards turn 3 to clear that number 6, and Chase Elliott's to the inside of the 5. New leader, Chase Elliott here from Indianapolis. He would clear Kyle Larson and take the lead and run away. Now as we come to lap 42 down this back straightaway, and we're starting to go forward. Can we clear the 24? Did not want to hit the 1 car right here because it might send him sliding into turn 3, so unfortunately that keeps me from clearing the 24, and that brings the 6 back up my inside. Keselowski will go through as well, back down to P7. We'll have to try and work our way back forward past that's number 6. Ty Gibbs in P3. Can he run down the top 2? We know Gibbs has speed as we fight again to the inside of Keselowski. Now we rejected his offer to go to his team and take over his Xfinity team as well next season. As you guys know, of course, we announced last episode we're headed to Junior Motorsports now. Tyler Reddick's headed to the wall, however, but the 91 saves him there with Andretti. Caution is out. Reddick blows a tire, and it's going to bring everybody into the pit lane, and Tyler Reddick's day is over, and he will be in a must-win scenario going into the regular season finale from Daytona next episode. Everybody pits. It's going to be 2 tires for everybody. Larson loses a spot, Gibbs gains a spot. Gibbs to the front row, Larson to P3. Honestly, Larson's probably happy with that. 3rd is probably better than P2 on the restart from Indianapolis. We're back racing now. How about again Marco Andretti? What a run here from a driver whose family's got such a rich history at this facility. Now as we roll through turn 1, 11 laps of racing to go here in this race. Who will win the crown jewel? Now, of course, we talk about crown jewels in the NASCAR Cup Series. We've got one under our belt at the Daytona 500 this season. Then you got the Coke 600, which we've continuously come up short on. Now, as we make a big move, 3 wide to the inside of the 24 and the 1 of Byron and Chastain. Can we hang on into turn 3? I know we've been struggling to pass. We just haven't had the pace, so we got to make the moves late in this race. Get what we can while we can. Elliott leads over Larson in 2nd. We try to clear the 1. We slide across the nose of Chastain, but we pay the price as we exit the corner way wide, having to lift a hit to not hit that concrete barrier on the right side. Byron clears us. Chastain would get through on the inside as well. We drop back down to P6, and that whole move right there ends up being for nothing. Elliott continues to lead over Larson. Ty Gibbs right there in the mix. I do believe if you give Ty Gibbs a chance and give him the position, he's going to win this race, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity now. Less than 10 laps to go. Drag racing with the Busch Light Ford, or the Busch Light Honda Civic into turn number 1. Ross the Boss Chastain has become a late regular season favorite heading into the playoffs. Now Larson's showing the nose on the 9, can't quite get there. Now Gibbs, he's not really sure where to go. Chastain clear on the exit of turn 2. Kyle Busch, his teammate, to follow just behind in P7 as we continue to follow nearly into the outside wall as I'm continuing to struggle as I'm following these guys in front. We maintain P6, just don't have enough. Now when they get fighting side by side like this is perfect. It allows me to reel these guys back in and maintain with them. Chastain on the inside of the Exalta Chevrolet of William Byron, having a great run here for both of them, of course, from this Brickyard 400. Now Byron gets cleared by the 1 as we approach lap 50 of 56. Now William Sawalich, Rookie of the Year contender around, collects fellow Rookie of the 48 of Rajah Caruth, and the caution strikes again. It will be a late race restart. Elliott, Larson, Hendrick the front row, Ty Gibbs, Chastain row 2, Elliott, Gibbs are in the preferred positions. Don't rule out the 24 of William Byron. What can he do? Let's find out right now, because green flag is back out. We are racing for 4 more laps from the Brickyard. Will we make it to the end? Will we see overtime strike? Only time tells. Now in the background, Andretti with a poor launch into turn number 1. He's a few car lengths between himself and I. Shouldn't be able to close that up without much issue here. We're stacking up. Larson not really making a lot of progress right now on the exit at turn 2. Ty Gibbs to P2. I'm wide. I'm into the outside wall again. It has just not been my day. The car just has not driven the way I need it to drive. Logano goes through, and so does Briscoe. We are certainly not in the conversation for winning today, and I kind of tricked myself into thinking I was in the first couple of laps when we went from 5th to 2nd. Obviously I was wrong, because here we are in P9. Caruth as well into the mix for the top 10. Don't rule out that number 48 as we roll through out of turn 4. Elliott, Gibbs, Larson, 1, 2, 3 into the back of the 98 down the exit, and now front straightaway. That makes it increasingly difficult to pass them, but we still get a good run as we head down towards turn 1. 3 to go, and we'll clear the 98 just about into turn 1. Try to get alongside Joey Logano. Can't quite make things happen though. Elliott's still in front, but Ty Gibbs is there. What can the 54 do? He's got a nose there. Ty Gibbs to the inside, looking for the lead here from the Brickyard, and on the run down the back straightaway, we get to the inside of the Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang. Logano and what could be his final Brickyard 400. Gibbs will get past the 9. To the lead goes Ty Gibbs, looking for his 2nd win on the season, and they both come within a few races of each other. One in New Hampshire now takes the lead as we exit turn 4. He is clear. Elliott is now going to fight with Larson, who's going to try and clear him. 2 laps to go in this race. A huge run to the inside of the 99 Wendy's Honda Civic, and Larson's clear for P2. Can he fight back? Ty Gibbs, Larson, Elliott, Byron, Chastain, your top 5. Here comes Marco Andretti for Project 91. What a drive from Andretti as we exit turn 2. Now I'm saying, okay, let's push the 99. Let's not try to fight him right here, as I'm under pressure from his teammate of Andretti. So let's push him and follow him to the final lap. Now the white flag is waving. Do we make it back, or do we see a caution? Now a move to the inside of Busch down this front stretch, crossing the stripe. White flag is in the air. This race is official. We'll clear Busch into turn number 1. He tries to show the nose to the right rear. Can't make it happen. Andretti will slip up the inside, and he's going to try and move through into P7. What a drive, and he nearly gets to my inside. Nearly caught me off guard, but we shut the door. Ty Gibbs leads by less than a car length. We have not seen any leader drive away really outside of Kyle Larson in the very early laps. Outside of that, it's been close from start to finish pretty well as we head down into turn 3 for the final time. A run to the back of the 24 of William Byron. Didn't quite have the pace we were looking for here today, unfortunately. We'll have to settle for P6, maybe P5 if we can get a run out of turn 4. Speaking of runs out of 4, it's not going to be enough from Larson. Ty Gibbs down this front straightaway, the long front straightaway. Gibbs will pick up his 2nd win of the season. The defending champ adds a crown jewel to his resume. Ty Gibbs is a Brickyard 400 winner as he gets to celebrate victory and burn it down on the front straightaway, avoiding the bricks preferably now, as Larson will come runner-up in front of Chase Elliott, Chastain, Byron, and myself, the top 6. Briscoe just rounding out the top 10. Chris Buescher, P12, not a great day, but he did enough over Todd Gilliland, who ends up P16. So we'll take a look at the playoff standings in a moment. Last season winner here from the Brickyard, Carson Hocevar down in P30. Justin Haley, P29, who's in the playoffs with his Phoenix win, but it's not been a good season for Justin Haley at RFK. Looking at the playoff standings now, Buescher, SVG, still the last 2 drivers in. About 40 points separate those 2 drivers, but now the gap, instead of 44 points, is 49 points to Todd Gilliland. So Gilliland could point his way in, but it would take a miracle. Basically, we're going to need to see a new winner for the playoff grid to change in Daytona. Will it happen? Can Tyler Reddick, can Bubba Wallace put 23-11 in the playoffs? We'll have to wait and see. In the regular season standings, Kyle Larson has locked up the regular season championship. 13 points between myself and Chase Elliott in 2nd and 3rd. We're fighting for a few extra playoff points. That's the real fight there. Larson is your regular season champion. I will see you guys next episode. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.